you are well and having a great day in the market. I am mean and green on the day and done trading. I thought I would take some time to make this video. I've been promising. So I've been talking about my little noob class in the Discord. I've got a little secret channel called Noobs in the Discord. And there are about 10 of my friends and family members in this group. I am trying to help learn how to trade. I've never really taught trading before, and I had to think about how I would approach that, and I wanted to approach it in a way that I wish I had learned. It takes a long time to learn price action. We need to book our screen time. There is no shortcut for that, but I wanted to teach these noob students in a way where they would find success early on. A lot of traders gets discouraged because it's hard and you don't know where to get the information. So I am using a really simple rules-based strategy that has a proven track record. Someone shared with me for my noob students. And right off the gate, I'm teaching them 1, to follow rules, and 2, to wait for the setup. This setup also has a structured ATM. It's a set it and forget it kind of entry. There is no ambiguity where you enter, where you exit, where you place your order. And it's simple enough that someone with no experience, which everyone in my noob class is, could do. And while they're taking these trades and learning this setup, I can control the flow of price action information that they're receiving so it doesn't become overwhelming to them and they're getting comfortable with the platform. So I started these guys out on a template. I'm going to share that with you guys. And I told them to spend a couple days in Sim, download NinjaTrader, set it up, use the free trial data, and I want you to learn this platform, get comfortable putting an order on, learn how to move the charts, all of that. One of my students really was ahead of the game. She was quick, so I put her on a prop evaluation and read past her prop evaluation at Take Profit Trader, her very first one, using just this setup I put them on, knowing nothing about trading. I mean, they don't even know the anatomy of a candle. So that was pretty crazy. But then my second student, who also was ahead of the curve and comfortable in the platform enough that I put him on an eval, and he passed the eval target. So, and David started on Monday. He had passed his first evaluation using my setup and following the rules by Friday. Then I started to take notice. That is not something I expected. God knows it takes a lot of us a long time to do that. But here I am with 2 completely novice, new to trading folks, and they have both passed an eval. So now we're moving on to my third person, who is my dear friend Yana. And Yana is about $400 away from passing her Take Profit challenge. Now, Yana did hit the target the other day, and we actually had to give some back to the market because of the consistency rule. Honestly, these guys are so motivated. They are listening. They are doing what I tell them and are ahead of me because I hadn't even really explained what a prop firm was yet or what the rules were. I basically put them on a prop account to get data. So I now have 3 out of 10 of my noob students who have essentially passed their evals. Red is going to start trading live on Monday. Now, this system that I set up for them is something that you can do on an eval for sure. I'm going to recommend that you practice it in Sim first till you're comfortable with the entries and the rules. Once you are, switch over to a prop account, see if you can pass it as well. But once you pass it and go to funding, I don't think this is a good strategy. It is a little high risk. And even though it has a high success rate, it doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room on a funded account. So I'm going to make some content later on how to transition. And I do have a Word document I'm going to share about the strategy that will help you guys transition to micros. It's much safer to trade on micros in funded accounts. You will certainly keep your accounts longer. Now, I do take this setup occasionally. A lot of us take this setup in the Discord. You will hear us talking about it, but it's not my go-to strategy. I see a juicy setup, I will take it, but I am a micros trend trader traditionally. You can see my screens right now. I've got some custom indicators. I like to scalp the trends, and I also like to hold on to some runners. I do like to enter pullbacks, and I trade based around gaps, volume profiles, and 1-hour pivots. This is something that I am eventually going to transition my students to. At this point, I'm figuring out who is my scalpers, who is my swing traders, and I do have a combination of both. Now, my fourth student is going to start his prop evaluation today as I'm recording this. If he passes too, I am going to think I'm the messiah of noob trading. But honestly, the setup that they're trading is not one I've created. I've stolen it from Tony Rago. We are talking about the golden and silver setup. The key and element of success here, I think, is the fact that they are listening to me. They are following the rules. They don't know anything, so they are just entering the setup. They are not looking at the market and thinking, are we going up? Are we closing their trades early because they're not sure? They are not moving their stops and targets. They are taking the trades exactly like I told them to do, and it is working. So right off the gate, I'm teaching these new folks that following your rules works, and it does. That is something we must master in trading. Also, having a really simple rules-based strategy is helpful, especially if you're new. I've got people who have no trading experience passing evals on their first try on a stupid simple setup that's just scalping pullbacks in the market, and it is crazy. So I think this could help anybody who's new and wants to learn how to trade. I think this could help anybody who's been struggling to find a setup. I think a lot of new traders go, and certainly I did this as a new trader, we look for the magic strategy. We go from one thing to the next because we're not finding success. But it's not really the strategy that's magic. It's the ability to be consistent in your application of your strategy and a good risk management plan. So we're going to go over this setup. I'm going to share a link here with the Google Drive files. The indicators you need are in it, and the chart templates that you need are in it. Now I've got two chart templates. One is the golden entry chart, and one is a noob plain chart. A couple of my students were just confused by the candle coloring, not sure if they should enter on red or green. So what I did was I just took that out of the equation and I made a noob chart and a golden entry chart. So here is my golden entry chart for my noob students. This is all white candles. I just took the coloring off of it. The other template has got a couple of extra things on here, and I just wanted them to be mindful of some key levels so they start to see how we react around it. So on this chart here, we've got these bubble lines here. The red is the prior day low. The turquoise is the current daily candle open price. That is something we come back to a lot. And the blue is the prior day high. So I've just got those key levels on here. I've got them on the 5-minute bars. It's just a little easier to see. But for the video, we're just going to stick to the noob chart. And we are on 5-minute candles here. So no confusion here. All we're looking for are price touches. So I created this document here that is going to break everything down in this setup for you, go over the strategy rules, give you helpful tips, all of that kind of stuff. So the golden entry, according to Tony Rago, this is his setup I'm borrowing and I've modified a little bit, is just a pullback scalp system. Okay, it is super easy. The golden setup occurs when the price touches the 50 line to the 26 spot. And every single price that ends in 26 will create a 26 spot on this chart with this indicator. And then it's basically we have round numbers. So we go from 100 to 50, 26 is in the middle. That is what we're scalping from. We take all trades from this gold line, either a short or a long. And how it works is we wait for price to touch the red line, the 50 level, and then eventually pull back down to the gold. This is where we enter the golden setup. We are going to set a buy limit order on this line to trigger when it touches. Now you have to have the setup in place. You can't wait till it gets there. You don't want to be late to the party. You see this start to come down right here, you get your order in place. So that is the buy limit. You'll see a pink line on this chart that goes up and down. It's just the price line. Okay, that's where the current price is. When you set a buy limit order, you want to do it from below the price line. And when you do it, get as far away from that pink line as you possibly can to set it up. Order submitted. You're just going to left click on that one time and it will pick it up, and then you can drop it where you want, but you're going to pick it up and you're going to drop it on the line for your setup. Okay, and you're going to leave it when the price triggers your setup. You leave it
Order canceled.
You don't touch it. You let it play out. So that is an example of a golden setup. That is the long entry. Now you see here, price touched the red line, it came down, but it didn't quite make it to the golden, so we didn't get a setup there, which would have been really nice. Here we touched the blue line. It took a long time to get to the red line and then come down, so there's no setups here. And part of this is you have to learn to wait. And I will say you do get a frequent amount of entries, so this isn't going to be boring. And it's going to help those new folks. Like I said, before they even learned price action or anything about trading, I am teaching them that following the rules is the path to success. You know, sticking to the setup that you are supposed to take, leaving it do its thing, and trusting in your strategy is how you get to payouts. So they're learning that first, and I just think that's very valuable because I feel like that was the hardest thing to overcome, to trust, you know, not to be afraid of a loss and let the process do its thing and just move on to the next trade. So they're learning this first before they learn anything about trading, and just think, I hope I'm setting them up for success. It seems like I am. But here we go. We got a touch of the blue line. We come down, we come down, we come down. There is our golden setup. All right. And we came down and we did touch this line. We came down some more. We came back to the blue line. Then we came up to the golden. So when we hit the 00 price level to the 26 spot, this is our silver setup. This is the short. We are going to enter a limit short. And when you set this order up, you want to do it above the pink line, and you want to be as far away from that pink line as possible. And the reason I'm saying this is don't get triggered in while you're trying to get set up. Give yourself room. Pick it up, plop it on there. You know, once you see this come up here, I would get my order in place. You want to be on that line. If we triggered that line and you didn't get your order in place and it started to go without it, you've missed that trade. You do not re-enter. You can see this was a successful trade here. We did get the scalp and the runner. And then we came down to the red line. We come back, we cross above the blue line. There is a touch on the blue, and we come to the gold. There is another short setup that also was successful. And look at that run you got. Now the ATM is set up to take a profit, a scalp profit for $130 on every touch. And then there's a runner target that's going to take profit at the back at the blue line. So we're scalping from this way to this way and from this way to this way. We came from the red line down to the gold line. That is a golden setup right here. The long entry from the 50 to the 26 is the long. We would set our buy order here and right here to trigger once it's touched. And you can see that was a successful trade. Now, this didn't get the full runner target, but we made $130. Here we touch the red line. We come down to the yellow line. There is our golden setup. We took the long. It looks like it was a successful scalp here. Hard to tell right now. $130. We cross above the blue line. We come up to the gold line. And when I say cross, we could necessarily just come down here and touch it and come back. You don't need to go below it and come back. But a touch of the blue to a touch of the gold is a silver setup. And we would enter the short here. That is a successful trade. You got the runner target. So that was a $600 trade. Now, don't be greedy in the market. Obviously, when you're learning this and you're practicing, you want to take as many trades as you can. But once you move to the funded or even eval stage side, I personally, and you can see my P&L, I target anywhere from 200 to 400 a day. I'm currently trading 46 accounts. About 9 of them are still evaluations. The rest are all funded. I'm making $200 to $400 a day on average. If I make, $250, that's $11,000 to $18,000 a day in profit. You don't need to get big numbers. You want to compound your earnings by trading a couple different props. It's a little safer that way. And consistently winning small targets is going to get you to the finish line. It's not going to take a day, but you will get there. I'm working towards 60 prop accounts that I could take bi-weekly payouts from, for like $1,200 to $1,500 bi-weekly on each account every 2 weeks. I'm well on my way to making that goal by September. And once I get there, then every month I'll be taking those withdrawals. But you have to invest the time to build your accounts to get there. Every time I try to go quickly, I bust accounts. So at this point, I'm not doing that. I'm just sticking to my plan. And that is the motto here. Sticking to our plan is the key to success. All right, so in order for us to get another setup here, because we've touched the blue line, we want to come back up to this gold line. That would be another silver setup, and we would take the short. So you can see it's a really easy setup. I will take a couple trades and record them in another video, but I just wanted to get this out so you guys could see what I'm doing. I've added an ADX filter option. So this setup relies on a pause in price to be successful. And if we are above the ADX here, if the ADX is above the midline that I've set, we are probably in a strong trend. and you may want to just take trades in the trend direction. If we are below the midline for ABX, then we are in a slower moving market and it's safe to take both directions. Now, this is not part of Tony's setup, and my noob students are not even following this, to be honest. But it's something that I use when I take these trades, so I wanted to add it in here as an added confluence. I recommend, if you're an experienced trader and you're struggling, put yourself on this setup, get in an eval. Just follow the rules, guys. Don't take any other trades. Don't try to trade any other strategies. If you see a juicy swing entry, don't take it. Just follow the rules and the setup for this particular strategy. Do it for at least 2 weeks. I think you're going to find success just like my noob students are doing. It's crazy that I've got 3 and potentially 4 ready to pass an eval, like literally only 2 weeks of trading experience. And I don't think it's because I'm any trader whisperer. I think I just set them up for success. I gave them a simple strategy to follow that has a good track record of success. And I harped on, please follow the rules. Just do what I say. I don't want you looking at squirrels. I don't want you watching other YouTuber videos. I want to control what they learn and when, so they're not overwhelmed, and they're not, and it's working. So I'm really excited about this. I am eventually going to be teaching them my strategy. That's coming when they're ready. Right now they're not ready. They need to book their screen time. And this is the easiest setup that I know works, especially for new people. We take this trade a lot in the Discord. It is a fun trade. You'll get a couple of setups every day. You only need 2. So if you take your first golden or silver entry and you only hit target 1, it's a $130 profit. I would take another setup. If you take your first golden or silver setup and you hit both targets, that is a $600 profit for the day. I would be done trading. If you lose 2 in a row, it will happen sometimes, but it doesn't happen that often. This is my go-to setup for sideways markets. So here is the ATM strategy I'm on. For the golden setup on NQ, which is what everybody is trading currently, we are on 2 contracts. Target 1 and target 2 stop loss is 65 ticks. Target 1 profit target is 26 ticks, and profit 2 target is 95 ticks. And we are at break even on this one. So we're going to lock that scalp in, and we are going to protect our capital. This is a break-even strategy at 26 ticks plus 1. We're going to cover them commissions. Now, when you move to micros, okay, we're going to just do 1 contract, and we're going to break it up this way. 5 contracts, 5 micros for target 1, 5 for target 2, 26, 95, same ATM system. So this is super easy. I wanted to get this video out. I know a lot of you guys are curious about what I'm doing. This is what I've done. Discipline, no FOMO, waiting for your setup. These new folks are learning to wait patiently for their setup. They're learning to execute their setup according to their rules every single time. And they are passing evals their first time in 1 week. I'm going to start making some other videos about price action for those guys. I'm going to post them on YouTube and in the Kelly's Trading School channel we have set up in the Discord, since a lot of you guys wanted to know what I was doing. So I hope this helps you. Certainly let me know any feedback you have. I am really curious. I certainly want to know if you find success using this. I really want to track that. I might be onto something here. This might be the way to teach new people. And big thanks to Tony Rago for making this super easy little setup that is good and reliable and making people money. I do know some people who only take the setup and are profitable. So that's all I have, guys. Have a great one. I will see you in the next video. Bye.